friends, and welcome back to Handmade Not Hallmark. Amanda here. Today I've got my very first Christmas card for the season, and I just couldn't help but use the Stamptember exclusive set from Simon Says Stamp and Pink and Maine. It is the Snow One Like You stamp set. I just love these little marshmallow snow people so much that I just couldn't help but use them and get started on my Christmas cards. And I know this set's not available anymore, but there are so many wonderful images out on the market that you could use the same design idea to create your very own card. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Again, this was an exclusive set for Stamptember for Pink and Maine and Simon Says Stamp. I know it's not available anymore, but you can use any images that you have in your stash to create the same idea. I used some dies from my stash. Some are from Lawn Fawn. I think a few are from MFT. I'll have them all listed in the description below so you know which ones they are exactly. The first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to stamp my images and get those colored in. I'm going to be using some Nina Solar white cardstock as well as some Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink to stamp down my little images. Like I mentioned before, I know that this was an exclusive set and not very many people were able to get this set, but if you were lucky enough to get it, I think this is a really cute set and it's really versatile. You could use it for winter cards, you could use it for even Valentine's Day cards, which I think are great. But again, if you weren't lucky enough to get it, that's okay. You can shop your stash for whatever images that you have. It could be snowmen, it could be, winter critters, anything like that to create the same idea. I'm going to go ahead and get right into my coloring. I'm going to put on some music for you to enjoy while I color. All the colors I use will be listed in the description and be on the screen as well. Once I'm all done, we'll come back and finish up this card together.
Set to fall today. It comes
I was all done with my coloring, I did fussy cut out the images. And I'm sorry about my camera, didn't focus very well there, but they weren't too difficult to fussy cut. I just took my time and, you know, really just paid attention, and they were pretty easy. So if you didn't get the dies, or you're really not into fussy cutting, you could just mask off a little scene as well, which I think would be fun. So if anybody wants to see kind of a masked scene with these snowman images, if you didn't get the dies with them, I can go ahead and do that as well. Let me know down in the comments. So I'm just going through with my white gel pen and adding some details. This is one of my favorite things to do when it comes to creating cards with these cute little images. I really think it jazzes them up and makes them look really sweet. So I just added some stripes on the blue scarf, and I added some dots on the other one. And I also added in some little dots around like their mittens and things, because I thought they would look kind of fuzzy. And then I did go in and highlight his little eyes. They were really tiny, so I was really worried about messing them up, but it worked out just fine. And then I'm also going to take out this Stardust glitter pen, and I'm going to add some sparkles to the edge of these little marshmallows. Now I know a lot of people have colored them in to look like they're toasted, but I really didn't want to do that. I'm not very good at kind of creating that kind of effect, so I wanted them to look like they were like sugary and sweet out in the snow, kind of covered in snow, those sorts of things. I'm probably overthinking it, but that's kind of what I was going for. And once I had those ready, they are so sweet. I can get my little scene gathered up here. So again, I just used some pattern paper. I found this in my stash kind of at the bottom of my like scrap bin. I don't know why it was down there. And I really thought that this would make a cute card. I don't use pattern paper all that much, but I really love the way that this turned out. I think it looks so sweet. I'm also using the Lawn Fun Stitched Tree Border dies. I think this came out last year before. I know they came out with a new one this year, but this one has got the wavy hills, and I think the new one is just a nice simple hill. And I thought these would look so cute as like winter trees. I thought about adding in like the actual like bubbles that come with this. I guess there's like supposed to be leaves, but I just decided to go with the kind of the bare trees for the snow, and I think it looks so sweet. I love this so much, and I was kind of concerned that it was a little blank, a little plain, but I really think that the snowmen or the snow people really shine, and I think they really make the card. If you wanted to add another one, you could have, but I wanted this to be very sweet for just 2 snow people. So I'm going to go ahead and do my greeting here, and I took out the greeting from the stamp set that says "There's Snow One Like You," and I'm going to stamp it down onto some Simon Says Schoolhouse Red cardstock, and I'm going to heat emboss it with some Brutus Monroe Alabaster White embossing powder. And I was kind of hoping I had a banner die in my stash to cut this out, but I didn't have one that quite fit, and I didn't want it to look a little weird or wonky if it was too close. So what I'm going to do is, after I have this heated up nice and melted, I'm going to use my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim this out. Now I know I've mentioned several times on my channel that I'm not very good with my paper trimmer, but I have the smaller Tim Holtz paper trimmer that's like teeny weeny. I think it's like their mini one, and it works really great for me for cutting like little banners and things like that. I think it worked out just fine. So here's where I thought I would use a banner, but it didn't quite work out. So I just decided I'm going to cut it using my little paper trimmer here, and then I am going to manually cut in the little flag ends. You don't have to do this. You could just stamp it right on your background, but I wanted to add another little pop of red onto my card, and I wanted it to kind of be tucked behind the tree a little bit, and adding that and having that stitching detail at the top I think really helps keep everything looking very cohesive. Now I'm sorry that I didn't get me cutting that out on screen. I'm not sure what I was doing, but I must not have hit the record button. So all I did was I just cut a little flag at the bottom of there, and then I just ran it through my die cutting machine with one of my stitched dies to get that stitching along the top. Once I had that all done and I had that adhered, I love the placement on that, so I'm going to adhere my little snow people down, and I'm just using some scrapbook adhesive foam squares to attach these to my panel. Now again, you could create a kind of a 1-layer masked scene kind of in the similar way. You could stamp them right on to like the snow panel there and color them in that way, if you wanted to create a scene. So I just love the blues and the reds together. I felt they looked really, really nice. And I really felt that was empty at the bottom, so I decided to add a second greeting that says, "You melt my heart." This is from the same set, and I really think it kind of brings it all together. So it says, "There's snowing like you melt my heart." And then on the inside, I'm going to stamp another greeting. I'm going to use my Distress Oxide inks to stamp down this greeting. I'm going to be using Chipped Sapphire. These ones are really great for stamping with. The other oxide or the other Distress inks don't do so well with stamping. It has to do with the pigmentation in the oxide inks, and that which makes them great for stamping. And I really love using them for greetings, especially if I don't have a color that I want to match. Once I had that stamped down, I'm going to work on my card base. I just have a top folding A2 sized card panel here, and I just had to use another image and greeting from this set because they're so adorable and sweet. So I took out the single snowman here that is got his little arms up in the air, and I'm gonna have it say Happy Winter. So this card could be used just for about anything. I think it could be used for a birthday card. The same design you could use for, just you're thinking of somebody, or, just a thank you, or just to let them know that you're thinking of them this coming winter. I know it's probably pretty early for some of you, but I wanted to get a jump start on my Christmas card series because I always end up running out of time and I never get all the ideas in that I want. So I wanted to get a jump start. I don't have a set schedule yet. I think I'm just going to kind of post, and I'm going to have them put in their own our playlist on my channel, so you can find those very easily. So if you see a few Christmas cards coming and then maybe a few fall cards, it's going to be kind of mixed up at this point, and then once we really hit the Christmas season, it'll mostly be Christmas cards throughout the rest of the year. So just keep an eye out. If you subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload a video, so you'll always be informed as to when I'm posting. Once I had that stamped on the inside, I'm going to adhere my main panel down on my card base, and I just love how this looks. It is so sweet. I always forget about pattern paper and just creating these cute little simple scenes. One of the last things that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a few embellishments. I'm going to add some of the Tailored Expressions clay hearts, or not clay hearts, excuse me, these are snowflakes. I will add a clay heart a little bit later. Again, this is just to add a little bit more interest. You could leave this step off. You could do ink splattering, anything like that. I just personally love these little snowflakes. I'm going to have to get more before I really get going on my Christmas series this year because I am running out. I used them a lot last year, so I'm going to have to make sure I put those in my cart and get them restocked. Once I had those all adhered, I wanted to add one more little pop of red. I wanted to add a little red heart in between my little snow couple here, and I really love this nice little pop of red as well. And I had a little helper come and try to see what I was doing, and I gave him a snowflake, and he was absolutely thrilled. He carried it around the rest of the day, so he was happy for that. And that will finish up this first card for my Christmas card series for this year. I really hope you enjoyed this very first card and the sweet little scene I created with these marshmallow snow people. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button to let YouTube know you're enjoying the content, as well as selecting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos here at my YouTube channel, and especially during my upcoming Christmas card series. Again, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch up with you guys again real soon. Bye!
On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.